Okay, so today I'm going to show you how I pack bananas. These are going to be sent to Tony or Sunfish. Let me get this out of the way for now. I'm going to dip the form of this unknown tall variety of mine. It was supposed to be dwarf Orinoco, but it bloomed at 10 inch last year. This is just 5-20, so it's to prevent any mold from growing during shipment. Not a big issue for a short shipment like this. Filming for me is Michael, as many of you know. It also provides some moisture during transit. Somewhat debatable whether it should be a sealed bag or perforated. I've had discussions with some members about it. I think that with the 5-20, it's fine. I'm going to use string to tie it. I try to do this so the roots don't shift around during shipment too much. There are not a lot of roots on these, unfortunately, so it's not a big issue. If they're longer, I try to fold the roots carefully. Some protection. I use bubble wrap if I have it. This is something that some shipment came in recently. Just stay here on the banana, Michael. May have to adjust this some later. The biggest point of this video is showing how I use post office free boxes, though. I've had some discussion on the forum there that I don't care for triangles. I see too many of them. Fold it in half. But I use those triangle boxes that you saw earlier in the beginning of the video to create these. They cost nothing. And by flipping around opposite, I can use the adhesive strips there to stick to one another. I've cut these. I think that the dimension was 7 1/4 by 5, or 7 3/4 by 5 1/8 or something like that. I can't remember right now. I can post that later. Now I do ideally here, and I didn't put any bubble wrap on this one, is tape the banana plant within the box so they don't shift around, but I think it's probably not going to be too important on these because they're too tall to fit into the box anyway, and I could probably use 4 boxes and make it longer, but then it's probably going to double the price of shipping. But I'll look here now. What I like to do is roll the banana leaves to protect them. There's not going to be much that can get saved here, though. I'll go ahead and roll them. I found that very few banana leaves get damaged in shipment if they get rolled within newspaper. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut off what I know won't fit in the box. Might even need to cut a little bit more. We'll cut a lot more, cut it off, and I have myself a lot of problems with bananas taking a month or whatever to send out a new leaf. If I leave some leaves without cutting the growing point, it seems that it does grow out much faster for me and for others. I sent some unknown plant to Randy. It was supposed to be a variegated basjoo. His plant hasn't shown any variegation at all yet, and it's not a basjoo. But anyway, I know that he said that he planted it and it took right off. It looked like it was never removed. So he was happy with my packing. Again, I usually take a little bit more care here. This adds some rigidity, and the leaves don't get folded and bent during shipment. And I'll cut off what I know can't fit. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and tape to the box, even though I don't think it's necessary. Just to show you what I do. If you're shipping one plant and it's got all the leaves intact, you don't want it bumping its head in the box. Well, that gives you an idea. I'm not going to do any more because it's not going to make any difference here anyway. It's going to be a pretty tight box, and it's already got the tops of the leaves cut off, so I can cut that strip off. A little bubble wrap would be a lot easier than this here. If I can reach in, I help make sure it's sealed, but I'm just going to tape it. Tape is my only expense on this in time. I'll go ahead and tape that joint. You can see the adhesive edge there is an overlap, so those opposing corners, two corners, are doubled up, and so it adds quite a bit of rigidity. These are what they call shirt boxes that are also free priority boxes, and I cut these originally 1 inch or 2 inches wider and longer than this box is going to be, and then I score it. I cut out the corners so I can put what I do sometimes, and I'll do right now, is tape a couple corners. It makes it easier to fold over. On the first one anyway. I can't stand up the box yet. Okay, so if I put this, if I cut it right, it should fit right over the end. Pick that up better later. We don't need to spend time doing that. I'm going to just stand this on the ground. I don't need to really tape the corners on this one here because I can stand this box. Okay, now I just make sure that it's centered right by holding the flaps all the way around. Anyway, that gives you an idea of this box here. I'm going to tape it up more on the ends there, but it's all ready for all kinds of post office abuse. There's a little bit of flex there. If I could have sealed that together better, it would have been stronger. But it's still a strong box. So, okay, that's it. That's how I do it.
Okay.